Cette semaine, notre trou du cul président a décidé de faire exploser la Maison Blanche pour qu'il puisse construire une galerie énorme. Nous avons déjà vu son goût avec le Oval Office, donc on peut s'entendre de voir plus de la même chose. J'ai trouvé un entretien que Jacqueline Kennedy a donné. Il a été diffusé en 1960. Je me demande qu'elle penserait de son ancienne résidence.
Le monde entier vous connaît maintenant comme Mrs. Kennedy, la femme de l'homme qui a beaucoup de chances de devenir président des États-Unis. Votre nom de jeune fille est Jacqueline Bouvier. Est-ce que Mr. Kennedy a épousé une Française?
Non, je suis d'origine française. Ma famille est venue ici au XVIIIe siècle.
Mais vous parlez un français parfait.
J'ai passé un an à Paris, à la Sorbonne et l'école du Louvre. C'est peut-être pour ça.
Et quel cours avez-vous suivi à la Sorbonne?
J'ai suivi des cours de littérature comparée et un cours à sciences politiques.
Vous avez un bon souvenir de ce passage en France?
Ah, le meilleur souvenir.
This is an organic chicken that I got at the market. It's equivalent to, actually it came from Kroger's, but it's equivalent to the air-chilled version that Whole Foods sells. And you can find these sometimes even at Walmart. But as you can see, I've been eating on the carcass. This is what's left, but I wanted to chop off the wing and just show you how you debone it. I needed this breast, so we'll chop right straight down like that. And then most of it's just scraping. You have to scrape against the bones to get it off. Good, so that's off. Now, these are kind of expensive, but look, I've had several meals. You can cook the legs, the other breast, and now I've got a carcass and a couple of wings, and I'll make stock out of that. And you can probably get a chicken sandwich off of what's left. So, overall, it's not too bad. So, for this dish, we need to just get rid of the skin. That can go in the stock pot. And I would probably cut down halfway through this. Make sure you've got a sharp knife to do this, or you'll be sorry. Okay. Good. Alright, so we have two Suprême now. And the next thing we need to do is pound that out just a little bit. The way I'd like to do this is to put the, let me move this where you can see it a little bit better. Put some cling wrap over it, use one of these mallets and just go, and you see, this will really flatten out to about 1/8 of an inch, and that's what you want. Those now are ready to season with salt and pepper and flour, and we'll fry those up in just a minute. At the time that Jackie Kennedy was in the White House, Julia Child was busy with mastering the art of the French chef and French cooking, and I find it is very comforting sometimes to go back in time and to do old recipes. And I found this week a really nice one from Julia, which was called Poulet Andalusien, or Andalousie, I guess it is in French. But anyway, it's Andalusian chicken, and what it has to do with Spain is beyond me, but you need to have these flattened Suprême de volaille. Just a few things. That's a homemade chicken stock here. This is a tomato that I have cut up. I skinned it and seeded it, and I'll put a little tomato juice in with it to help color the sauce. That's a shallot that's chopped up. And you need some noyer prat. And this particular recipe gets flamed in cognac. And the only other thing I add is just a little sprig of fresh thyme. Well, let's get to cooking. I'm using European butter for this because it has a higher fat content. Frankly, it just makes everything better than American. That's Irish butter, by the way, since I can no longer readily find French butter. This is just as good. So we let that foam for just a minute. And in go these little Suprême. And then we wait for them to brown. Alright, notice the lovely brown. Now we're going to do our flaming. In goes the cognac. Have your fire extinguisher nearby. Naturally, you want to get that match back out of there. Alright, that's as much as that does. Actually, that cognac adds a layer of flavor. It's there in the end. Not pronounced, but enough to really enhance this dish. In go the shallots. Oh, this smells, I wish you could smell this. It's just lovely. And now we can put in some volaille pâte, French vermouth, our stock, our tomatoes, and that's going to need to be seasoned because none of that had salt in it, so a little bit there, and a little pepper, and our thyme sprig. Then we're going to bring this to the boil and simmer it until it reduces by about half. This is now reduced enough, and I'm going to add the final little bit of cream to it. This was not a low-calorie dish. Well, I forgot the chicken has to go back in here and saute just a little bit more to finish cooking. You might want to turn that one time, and then that should be fine. This is a pilaf, a rice pilaf with mushrooms and some little peas in it, which will go very well with this dish. And you put your Suprême right on the top, and then the sauce over it. This really could not be any easier. And be sure you have lots of those pretty tomatoes. There. And there you have it. That's Julia Child's Andalusian chicken.